Fever fan, as a Caitlin Clark fan, you don't want Kelsey Mitchell to leave because Kelsey Mitchell and Caitlin Clark this past season gave us the most electrifying backcourt that we probably have seen in the WNBA for a very, very long time. Kelsey Mitchell averaged 19 points, shot 46% from the field, 40% from the three-point line. Her and Caitlin Clark was fantastic. The speed, the agility, the pace of play, the 1-2 punch that those two women had in the second half of the WNBA season last year was chef's kiss. It was a beautiful brand of basketball. It was electric. You got Courtney White coming over. I'm sorry. Like, she is going to be a great coach for the Indiana Fever. You have Aaliyah Boston as well, and you also have that chemistry that you can build on going into this upcoming season. So if you're Kelsey Mitchell, you're looking at the situation. What teams would you want to go and play for? Do you want to go play with Chicago Sky? Absolutely not. Others don't want to come and play there. It was rumored that Jewel Lloyd wanted to go return, and because she's from Chicago, was going to go to play with the Chicago Sky. She said, no, I'm good off of that. She didn't want to do that. So Golden State Valkyrie. That could be a situation if you're Kelsey Mitchell. You go and play with the Golden State Valkyrie. That is going to be a poverty team. They have the 5th overall pick, I believe. So if you're Kelsey Mitchell, do you want to go and play with the Golden State Valkyrie, where you've been in a situation your entire career with the Indiana Fever until this past year where you wasn't making the playoffs, you were playing on a terrible team, nothing was really going the way you wanted to go. You were a past all-star the past 2 seasons in 2023 and 2024. You have chemistry with Caitlin Clark. You created the most electrifying backcourt and duo in the WNBA last year. You have every opportunity with the Indiana Fever going forward to possibly win a championship. And also Kelsey Mitchell, she's a core player right now. So she would have to say, I want to be I want to be traded, basically. I don't want to play here anymore. She would have to come out and state that. But for the next 2 years, she can be a core member because she's probably not going to sign a super long extension until after the 2026 season because of the new CBA, and we know what's going on with the WNBA's player unit and things of that nature. Like, they're going to be able to negotiate. So she probably won't get her true max contract, and it makes sense to just stay with the Indiana Fever for at least another season or possibly 2 seasons, and then you can get your big deal beyond that. But she has to play it smart. It's no point in going to Golden State Valkyries. No, you're not going to Chicago Sky. It's a team out there where I feel like Kelsey Mitchell could go. And it's a situation where if you're the Caitlin Clark and you're the Indiana Fever, if she says she wants to be traded, and she has not said anything about wanting to be traded, because technically she's a core, I keep saying traded because she's a core free agent. Like, it has to work for both parties. She's not an unrestricted free agent. She's cored. So that's big. Sal2 was core. Kelsey Plum was core. Brianna Stewart is core, even though she's not going to go anywhere. She's not leaving the livery. So if you are the Indiana Fever and you look at Kelsey Mitchell and you have Caitlin Clark, and also the Indiana Fever, they have a lot of money. They have a lot of money. They can give Kelsey Mitchell a max contract if that's what she desires, and they'll still be able to go after free agents as well. And a lot of people are saying that the Indiana Fever, they want Sal2. But if you are the Indiana Fever, how would you get Sal2 without possibly giving up Kelsey Mitchell? That's the thing that a lot of Indiana Fever fans don't really talk about. They say they want Sal2 to be the perfect fit. Are you going to give up Sal2 to get – are you going to give up Kelsey Mitchell to get Sal2? Because that's the only reason – that's the only way you're probably going to get Sal2 if you give up Kelsey Mitchell. So that's the thing. Like, if you get Sal2, you're probably giving up Kelsey Mitchell, because if you're the Dallas Wings, you're not probably taking back – at least you take back Lexi Hull, maybe. So that's another situation where you have to ask yourself, like, okay, you say you want Sal2, Indiana Fever fans, their organization, they've kind of been linked to each other. I really don't see that happening without them giving up Kelsey Mitchell. And I'm not giving up Kelsey Mitchell for Saltu, even though Saltu will fit perfectly with the Indiana Fever, but Kelsey Mitchell also fits perfectly with the Indiana Fever. It could be a situation where Kelsey Mitchell decides that she wants out and the Golden State Valkyrie doesn't make sense. The Sparks just got Kelsey Plum. The Aces just got Jewel Lloyd. A trade would have probably been facilitated where Kelsey Mitchell, Jewel Lloyd, and Kelsey Plum would have all been traded together to different locations, and you see Seattle. Seattle just required a number 2 overall pick within that trade. The Seattle Storms could be a sneaky option and a sneaky pickup for Kelsey Mitchell if she decides that she wants to be traded. She does no longer want to play with the Indiana Fever. If you are Kelsey Mitchell, that is not a bad situation because essentially you're replacing Jewel Lloyd and you're going to play with Skylar Diggins and you're just really swapping over, going directly to that 2-guard spot. That could work if you are the Seattle Storm. And it also will work if you are the Indiana Fever, because if Kelsey Mitchell decides she wants out, I don't believe she is going to ask out. I don't believe she's going to say out of her mouth she wants to leave the Indiana Fever. But if she does, then the player you go after is Gabby Williams, because Gabby Williams is also another core free agent as well. And now you get a return on your asset. You may lose Kelsey Mitchell, but now you lose Kelsey Mitchell, but you get Gabby Williams in return, who will fit the Indiana Fever offense really, really well. But the only thing about Gabby Williams is she plays overseas a lot. She's all about her money. She's all about her bag. Will she play the entire season with the Indiana Fever? Probably not. But if you got to get something in return for Kelsey Mitchell, if she acts out, that's not a bad pickup. In all likelihood, we're probably going to be seeing Kelsey Mitchell and Caitlin Clark remain on the same team and play together. And that trio with Aaliyah Boston, Caitlin Clark, and Kelsey Mitchell is going to stay intact. And if it does stay intact, then you're the Indiana Fever. You got to start pivoting. You got to figure out what moves can you make to possibly add on to create a championship roster. Because everybody talks about Saltu. I don't think Saltu is going to be on the Indiana Fever's roster. Gabby Williams is a player that even if Kelsey Mitchell stays with the Indiana Fever, I feel like Gabby Williams is a player that the Indiana Fever can possibly go after, even though she's a core player. That's something to look into if you are the Indiana Fever, because Saltu is no way that the Dallas Wings, just know how the Dallas Wings organization is. There's no way that the Dallas Wings aren't going to want Kelsey Mitchell in a deal. You can probably work with Seattle, and you probably can get rid of Lexi Hull, which would kind of suck if you're an Indiana Fever, but if you got a chance to keep Kelsey Mitchell, Aaliyah Boston, Caitlin Clark, get rid of Lexi Hull, and you acquire Gabby Williams, that's what you do.